That shabby construction company was actually making a lot of money, huh? The airhead wife, full of high spirits, talked incessantly. She seemed to have forgotten that she had cut ties and left, saying, "Living in Brooklyn and having a grandfather who only graduated middle school is bad for the kids' education. But you know, things don't always go your way forever. My name is Michaela, and I'm 54 years old. I lived in Brooklyn, New York, with my same-age husband, our eldest son's family, their kids, and our younger son, Tommy. But now our younger son is getting married. My husband, Mike, runs a small construction company. He's a master carpenter with 38 years of experience building houses. Our eldest son, John, became a carpenter right after high school, apprenticing under his father. Our younger son graduated from a university's architecture department and said, "I plan to work at my dad's construction company eventually. But I want to experience the outside world first," so he joined a major construction company and works in the design department. Our construction company's future is secure. John's wife, Amy, is straightforward and lively, and I like her because she is genuine. We have a 6-year-old granddaughter and a 4-year-old grandson. They are absolutely adorable. I became a grandmother who doted on my grandchildren. Amy helps with the office work at the construction company, so I mainly handle the household chores. Our family works together, and I think we have a good balance between work and home. If I do say so myself, we're quite a happy family. But a little thorn has pricked our happy family. Our younger son's wife, Lily. Lily is from a highly educated elite family, and she and our younger son met at work. She's beautiful but has a slightly thorny charm. When I first met her, I thought, even though her name is Lily, she's like a rose. She's glamorous but has thorns. She was a receptionist, a high-up beauty, and our son was proud to have won her over. Our younger son has always been attracted to beautiful women, and I often told him, it's not all about looks, but old habits die hard. Even though I heard it was a construction company, it's really like this, huh? When Lily visited our home to greet us before the wedding, she said this, sounding either surprised, mocking, or disappointed. I didn't think she imagined something like a major company like Bechtel Corporation, but I explained. There are various kinds of construction companies. Ours is a family-run business specializing in local residential projects. Since we don't hire employees, our office is small and the reception room is modest. Mike, the president, leads by example on the job sites, so we don't even have a president's office. The craftsmen who have known Mike for years are all independent contractors, and we hire them per project. Truth be told, our business is more profitable than it looks. Did you also graduate from Caltech like Tommy? Lily asked Mike. No, I started as a carpenter right after middle school, Mike replied. Lily openly frowned. She then asked John, did you go to college? John preferred working with his hands to studying, and he wanted to help my husband's business right after middle school. But Mike told him to at least graduate high school, so he went to the nearest public high school. It turned out well because that's where he met his future wife, Amy. I think both of our sons' choices are valid. Lily seemed to look down on those without a college degree, but Mike is highly respected by his peers. And he has the experience and skills to back it up, so there's nothing to be ashamed of. That was unpleasant, wasn't it? Amy, who was helping me tidy up, said. She asked about John's and my education. Sorry, but both of us are high school graduates. Even without a degree, John is skilled, handsome, and kind. He's perfect for me and the kids. That's right. Mike is also skilled, handsome, and capable. What's wrong with being a middle school graduate? Oh, you're bragging, too, Michaela. Well, you started it, Amy. I get along well with Amy, but it's understandable that the younger son's wife, Lily, didn't want to live with us. The newlywed couple is going to live in an apartment in Los Angeles. The place is a 1 LDK apartment in Beverly Hills, and the rent is $2,000 a month. If they lived here, it would be free. Amy said, considering Tommy's highly educated elite wife. She probably doesn't want to live with us in Brooklyn. I bet she wants to live in a high-rise condo. It's tough being an elite with such high pride. I agree. Even though the rent is $2,000 a month, they could manage with both of them working, but less than a year into the marriage, Lily got pregnant. About 3 months after Lily's pregnancy was confirmed, Tommy showed up at home looking haggard. That's when we first learned that Lily had quit her job. Tommy said it was tough to manage on his income alone. Moreover, since Lily got pregnant, she stopped cooking, saying, "The smells made me nauseous." Lily herself bought food from convenience stores and ate alone. That kind of diet isn't good for her or the baby. It would really help if we could live with you from now on. I'll convince Lily. I see. So she really doesn't want to live with us, I thought but didn't say out loud. While having this conversation, Tommy enjoyed a hearty meal of home-cooked food made by Amy and me and then went home. This is how Lily, begrudgingly, came to live with us. But when we saw her after a long time, the whole family was momentarily speechless. She had gained a lot of weight. The beauty that Tommy had boasted about was gone. She had a double chin, and her belly was quite pronounced even though she was only 6 months pregnant. She looked like she had gained 20 kilos. "Lily, you've gained too much weight," Amy blurted out. "What's with that? How rude. I'm pregnant and need nutrition for 2. Gaining some weight is normal. It's not just some weight, and that's why we're concerned. It's unusual to gain this much weight at this stage. What if you develop preeclampsia?" When I said that, she retorted, "That's why I didn't want to live here. Being attacked by both of you two is too much." And stormed off to the room they would be living in. "This doesn't look good," Mike sighed. "Sorry, Mom, Amy, I'll talk to her too," Tommy said and ran to their room. It didn't take long to figure out why Lily had gained so much weight. First of all, she slept until the afternoon. The breakfast I made for her every morning went to waste. And for lunch, she said, "I'll buy what I want to eat myself," and went to the convenience store to buy a bunch of pastries and snacks. She spent her days eating them while playing games on her phone or watching videos. She didn't help with the family construction business or do any housework. When she showed up for dinner, she would say, "This tastes bland and isn't good," and try to leave the food unfinished. So I explained, "I'm making it less salty for the sake of you and the baby." Amy and I planned meals with low salt, high protein, and low fat, separate from the others. But if it doesn't taste good, what's the point? What a thing to say. You have to eat. I know it's bland, but the pastries you buy are extremely high in calories. Eating 4 or 5 a day, plus snacks, puts you way over your calorie limit and messes up your nutrition. That's why you're gaining weight, and it's bad for the baby too. Amy snapped. Since she had recently given birth, she was more empathetic. She was right, and it was for Lily and the baby's sake, but Lily didn't seem to understand. In the end, Lily got a stern warning from the doctor at her next checkup and reluctantly started eating the meals Amy and I prepared. She didn't express gratitude or help with the cooking and still lazed around in her room. But somehow, she safely gave birth to a baby girl and our family grew. Mike, me, John and Amy, Tommy and Lily, and 3 grandchildren. A total of 9 people in our big family. Even with a difficult daughter-in-law like Lily, my granddaughter is adorable. One day, I saw the 2 daughters-in-law chatting for a change, and then Lily said, "If I help with the construction business, can I get the same salary as Amy?" I explained that it wouldn't be fair to pay her the same amount as Amy, who had been working with us for years. But we agreed on a take-home salary of $1,500 plus bonuses for Lily. However, Lily's work performance was terrible. It made me question if she had really worked in a professional setting for years. The craftsmen we worked with particularly disliked her. No wonder, since she openly looked down on carpenters and construction workers. Moreover, she mostly left the childcare to me. Even after giving birth, she didn't lose much weight, and appearance-conscious Tommy would sigh secretly. Living together and seeing the good sides of her might have made her weight gain less of an issue. But with her bad reputation and attitude only worsening, I felt sorry for Tommy. Despite the various problems, we managed to maintain peace in the family with everyone else's cooperation and patience. But when Lily's daughter, my granddaughter, turned 3, Lily suddenly announced, "I'm planning to enroll her in a prestigious kindergarten. Living in Brooklyn and having a grandfather who only graduated middle school is bad for her education, so we're cutting ties." And she left with her family. By this time, Tommy was completely under Lily's thumb, and he kept apologizing to us and left the house. I can't believe it. She dumped all the childcare on you, didn't pay for rent or food, and saved up to buy a condo in Los Angeles? Amy's anger was understandable. She had endured and helped for years, putting up with a lot. Does she really want to live in Los Angeles that badly? I was worried about my younger son and granddaughter. Lily's vanity and high pride made me anxious about how much she would spend to maintain them. I never thought we'd be cut off by Tommy's family because of my middle school education. Mike looked downcast. He wasn't at fault at all. I'm worried about Tommy and our niece, but honestly, I'm relieved, said Amy, understandably. Living with Lily for over 3 years had been a significant burden for Amy. I was truly grateful to Amy. You've done so much. Thank you, and I look forward to continuing to rely on you. Just after all this happened, Mike approached me with a serious look. Hey, Michaela. It's a bit early, but I'm thinking of finally pursuing that dream I've always talked about. Will you come with me? Mike's long-held dream was to build his ideal house in the countryside and live a leisurely life, growing vegetables and enjoying nature. The construction business is secure with John and Amy. They will likely make it even bigger than I ever could. I agreed. John had married a wonderful woman. I still had concerns about our younger son's family, but they were adults and parents now. They would walk their own path. Mike had originally planned this for his 60th birthday. We were both 58, so I wasn't particularly surprised when he brought it up. I've already found a suitable plot of land. The house plans are ready. The view is great, the air is clean, and there's a spa resort nearby. It's a wonderful place. Mike looked so happy, and I found it charming that he could still talk about his dreams no matter his age. Of course, I would go with him. Cooking with vegetables we grew ourselves, occasionally enjoying the resort, and living a peaceful life with Mike. It sounded like a wonderful retirement. John and Amy knew about Mike's dream and, though a bit surprised, supported us. Mike quickly bought the land in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, hired a few trusted craftsmen he had known for years, and enthusiastically worked on the house himself. I visited the site about once every 10 days with snacks, and it was fun to see our future home taking shape each time. The house was a single-story structure, fully equipped with barrier-free features for the future. Built with carefully selected materials and meticulous craftsmanship, it was truly magnificent. Early the next year, the house was completed. And then, we moved. Take care of the business. Once things settle down, we'll have a housewarming party, so come with your family of 4. We will definitely go. But we'll miss you, Michaela. Amy teared up as she said that. After settling in and unpacking, I contacted John and Amy to plan a housewarming party. I spent the morning cooking in our spacious and convenient kitchen. We received a call that they were arriving soon, so I went outside to greet them. To my surprise, Tommy and his family also got out of the car. Lily, didn't you say you were cutting ties with us and leaving? I wanted to say, what nerve you have, but Lily didn't seem to care. Oh, Michaela, long time no see. This place is really in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? But is all this land yours? And the house is amazing. Did it cost $100 million? She said, sparkling with excitement and speaking familiarly. I'm sorry, Michaela. John must have told Tommy. Amy whispered to me. Even if Lily declared she was cutting ties, it wasn't strange for both John and Tommy to stay in touch. However, Lily's attitude was perplexing. She was moving her even larger body than when she left, speaking ingratiatingly. Frankly, it was creepy. Including the land, it might be around that, but since we built it ourselves, the actual costs were just the labor and materials. So it wasn't that much. Mike explained, having come out of the house upon hearing the commotion. Sorry. When I told her Dad built a house, she kept insisting on seeing it, asking what kind of house, how much it cost, and so on. Tommy said apologetically. I was happy to see Tommy and his kid. I wondered if there was a way to send this daughter-in-law away, but no good idea came to mind. Telling myself that I only had to endure her for today, I invited everyone inside. As soon as they stepped into the entrance, everyone gasped and sighed. Wow. Such a big entrance. It's beautiful, said Lily. The natural light is amazing. High ceilings and large windows make it so bright and pleasant. Amy exclaimed. It's completely barrier-free. No steps at all. This is incredible, Dad, said Tommy. John, the new president of the construction company, muttered, if you built this in the city, it would be more than $100 million. The wood and fittings are top-notch. It could easily cost $500 million. $500 million. Lily shouted, her eyes wide. That shabby construction company was actually making a lot of money, huh? Shabby is uncalled for. Even when scolded harshly, she stuck out her tongue and shrugged. She still had that condescending attitude. She might think it's cute. My design and the craftsmen were all skilled, long-time acquaintances. We worked fast and got materials at good prices. So it didn't cost nearly that much. Mike explained happily. This is your masterpiece, Dad. Tommy said, clenching his fist with determination. Then, out of nowhere, Lily said, hey, Mike. Build a house for us too. What are you talking about? You just bought a condo, didn't you? When I said that, she replied, but seeing this house makes our 2DK condo feel small and dark. I want a house like this. It doesn't have to be in Los Angeles, New York City, or Chicago would be fine. We could sell the condo and use that money to buy land. If you build the house, it'll be free, right? I was stunned by her audacity. Moreover, she added, oh, and you should gift us the money while you're alive. That way, we can buy land. I mean, it's impressive that a middle school graduate could build a house like this. Enough already. A low, angry voice interrupted. It was Tommy. His clenched fist was trembling slightly. Dad. I've decided. I want to work at your construction company. I was planning to eventually, but now I've made up my mind. I'm quitting my job and helping John. I want to build houses like you. Lily panicked. What are you talking about? I don't want that. It doesn't matter if you object. I'm leaving you. What? I said I'm divorcing you. My sons both love and respect their father very much. Seeing the house their father built with all his heart, Tommy must have made his decision. What? What are you talking about? You can't be serious. The one being unreasonable is you. I've put up with your attitude, your words, and your behavior for a long time, but I've reached my limit. Dad and his work are a source of pride for me. I can't be with someone who looks down on that. I felt like applauding. Amy sensibly took the children out to the yard. If only Lily had even a tenth of that consideration. You confessed to me first. I had plenty of other suitors. So it's your duty to make me happy. Yes, I thought it would be wonderful to have a beautiful wife. But now, no one would call you beautiful. If you want me to fulfill my duty, then be a wife worth fulfilling it for. You. You can't just divorce me for such a reason. We have a child. Indeed, divorcing her just because she gained weight wouldn't hold up, but Tommy had proper reasons and a trump card. I've recorded most of your words and actions, including today. Anyone who listens to this will understand why I want a divorce. You're such a coward. That's not manly. When Tommy pulled out his phone and started playing the recordings, Lily turned pale and began to tremble. The recordings captured him admonishing his wife who neglected housework and childcare. And whenever she opened her mouth, it was to badmouth us or John and Amy. The clincher was the recording of her frequently throwing hysterical fits and hitting the child. It was hard to listen to her harshly insulting both Tommy and his kid. Did you hear that? When I said no one would call you beautiful, I wasn't just talking about your appearance. It's your heart that's ugly. Lily, I can't trust you with my precious grandchild and son. If you insist on not divorcing, we'll get a lawyer involved. I couldn't hold back from saying that. I was truly unforgiving in my heart. Everyone there felt the same. What do you people with low education know? I thought your only skill was building houses. And I came all the way to this countryside to ask for help. I think building houses is quite an impressive skill. Lily, I've worked with you enough to know that you might have a fancy degree, but you're terrible at your job. Don't you realize that? I didn't feel bad about saying that. I don't feel like building a house for you. Mike sighed and said, deeply reflective. Finally understanding that no one was on her side, Lily left in a huff, without even trying to take her daughter who was playing in the yard. The daughter didn't try to follow her mother either. I thought I'd have to stop her from taking the child, but no need to worry about that. Tommy said with a somewhat sad smile. Soon after, the divorce was finalized without much trouble. Lily had no interest in a man who had quit his prestigious job. She didn't want custody of the daughter either. They sold the recently purchased condo, but despite the down payment, there was still a lot left on the mortgage. Who knows how much they'll get for it, but neither Tommy nor Lily will see much money from it. They might even end up with leftover debt. Oh, what a waste. Throwing away a $100,000 down payment like that. Amy lamented loudly. Lily returned to her parents' house, but a few months later, she called Tommy. Apparently, her father was fired from his company for embezzlement. The reason for the embezzlement was to impress those around him. With such a stain on his record, this proud elite couldn't find a new job, turned to alcohol, and eventually, her mother left him. With nowhere to go, Lily begged Tommy to take her back. You should work. Families help each other in tough times. Tommy said before hanging up. I truly believe that misplaced pride and vanity are not just useless but harmful. Her mother, who left, must be a lot like Lily. Tommy moved back home with his daughter and is now working at the construction company. He mainly handles design work but has recently started going out to job sites, learning a lot from John and the craftsmen. Tommy said, I should have married someone like you. Choosing based on looks was a mistake. How rude. Amy laughed on the phone as she shared this. Tommy's daughter has grown very fond of Amy, and the three children get along well. I thought Mike and I would have a quiet life, but he's been busy doing repair and renovation work for our neighbors. He seems to enjoy it, so I don't mind. And besides, Mike looks very handsome when he's working. That's the house I renovated last month. He'd say while driving, pointing out his projects. We've been invited to celebrate the completion of renovations and have received vegetables as gifts, building good relationships with our neighbors. With just Mike to take care of now, I felt a bit lonely, so I went to an adoption event and became the proud owner of a dog. She's a medium-sized female. Since we live in an inland area surrounded by mountains, I named her Denver. The gardening work we plan to do together has mostly become my responsibility. Denver stays by my side, watching over me as I work. I was almost a non-driver living in Brooklyn, but now I drive a small truck around. Denver rides with me. It's too early for us to feel old, and this life suits us well for now. The spa after a day of physical work is especially refreshing, and my skin has been looking great lately. You look younger these days. Mike said, making me happy. Once a month, John's family and Tommy and his daughter come over in their minivan. Next year, we'll be able to treat them with vegetables from our garden.